dizzy, dizzy. Shorty throw around, got me dizzy, dizzy. We get busy. Shorty throw around, got me dizzy.
She my favorite drug and I'm addicted. Yeah, every time she leave, I swear I miss it. Yeah, I see dollar signs, that's the business. Who the oh.
Hey, how
What's
are
up?
you?
What's up? How you feel?
Pretty good, and yourself?
I'm doing good. I can't call it.
Yeah, I
You probably
know.
wondering why I'm outside. It's nice out, you know what I'm saying? So I figured I'd sit on the stoop real quick, you know what I mean?
You know what's funny? I've done a couple where people are outside.
Yeah, it's really nice out here today.
Yeah, that's dope. I always like to say first thank you for your time so we can get into your music and
Absolutely. I appreciate you.
yes, of course. So I want to really start off with, is there anything you learned during the quarantine? Because a lot of people, it was kind of random, but I feel like a lot of people got some benefits out of it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, one, that I was spending way too much money on things that I ain't need to. Two, that I really like my alone time. Um, Three, my circle got a lot smaller. Like I got to learn about the people that I have around me and like who I need around me. You know what I mean? And I mean it's still stuff that I am learning. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm still like kind of in the process of it. But like more than anything, like it was definitely like reflections of myself. Like things that I need to do to be better for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's amazing too. And you brought up like a really good point about like who you need around you, who you don't
Yeah.
need around you. I definitely think when life is moving fast, nobody has time for that.
Yeah, that's the truth. Like you get so caught up in your routine or like a day-to-day thing. I also learned that it only take a week to come up with a bad habit. You know what I'm saying? So be careful like what you indulge in, like, and that could be anything. That could be, like watching too much television. That could be, not eating the right things. That could be, not reading or not drinking enough water. All of that. Like all of that plays a big part. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely something that I've been more so mindful of. It's just like, okay, like be very like careful of what you take in.
Definitely. And speaking of that, with the quarantine, a lot of people are home, so everything's different. And your
Yeah.
brand is actually called Homeschool.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's an all-time fact, right? Ain't that crazy?
It
I've
is.
been trying to put them on for a minute now. Word up,
Yeah.
word up.
What's the basis?
So, like, the idea of homeschool is like going off of like the school of hard knocks, or just basically learning everything from the street, or learning everything from your environment. Um, to be successful, especially in my field, nobody really teaches you how to do that, or a lot of times people are very selfish with information, whereas like they don't want you to surpass them in any way, or they don't want you to like they got this thing where it's like a competition or whatever the case might be. And if I tell you like a couple of moves, or if I give you a couple of secrets, then you'll be better than I am at something. And I just felt that was weak. So the deal is, self-taught, self-learn things every day, learn something new, and then kind of be around like-minded people that you could kind of learn things from each other off of. You know what I mean? Like I don't shoot videos, but I got a lot of, videographers as friends, or I don't. I'm not a graphic designer, but I have a lot of friends that are graphic designers. I'm not a fashion designer, but I have a lot of people that's in that field. But within each one of those fields, or each one of those categories, they're actually teaching me something or showing me something, or like just I'm kind of just like soaking up game. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even for myself, like this is just a quick story, because I'm honestly, like, people that know me know that I'm always telling stories. So the deal is, 21 Savage manager, right? That's the homie. Like people that know her, like she's super duper dope, right? She lived up the block from me, right?
Oh,
And she
wait.
used to work with 10 Deep, like the clothing brand, right? So one time she was like, "Yo, Chris, I'm moving to LA. I need your help." You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, "All right, cool." Like she was like, "Yo, I got this big ass mattress, X, Y, and Z. I need you to like, help me move that joint or whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's like helped out or whatever the case might be, right?" So while she was leaving, she gave me like 7 bags of clothes, like,
Wow.
but it was like mad sizes. Like it was like three of some things, 7 of some things, right? So I sold all of them because I ain't really
Fire.
like it. So then after I figured like I could sell somebody else's product, I figured that I could do my own. Like as easy as it was, like I know that that's not something that you like. It's like a learn, but it's like I don't know, like I was just like, yo, let me see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, I was just kind of like, yo, instead of doing it for another brand or instead of having another brand, like why don't I move my own shit? You know, excuse me, my own stuff. You know what I mean?
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of like how I kind of more so got into like the merch side of it. Like, yo, let me see this real quick. Let me try to get people on my side. You know, so and that's what happened.
Right, that's dope. So what led to the coloring book? Because I saw the coloring book and I'm like, that's creative.
So I call him my cousin. We if we run real fast, we look alike. You know what I'm saying? My man Levan Wright. He's a phenomenal graphic designer, and me and him all like he did the logo for homeschool in the first place. Like I've known him forever. He did like Wiz Khalifa's logo. He did Ray Sherman's
Nice.
logo. He's from Atlanta, so he's in that mix of all of them. You know what I mean? So he came up with the idea of just like, I want to do something that's like family orientated and like homeschool being that as well. Like, like it's not really friends, it's more so a family thing. And he was just like, yo, let's build something that if everybody is home and all the kids have to do homework from, their laptop, let's do a digital coloring book. And I was like, yo, let's run it. You know what I mean? And he just kind of like went off of like, things that really interest me or things that I kind of like extremely heavy on. So and the first one was is family first. Word.
Oh, that's dope. Okay, I
Right.
see why y'all went there. I could totally see that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's important right now. Like especially with everything that's going on. Like definitely family first is very important.
So, did you always know that you were going to do music? Because I see fashion was kind of, it just came up. But music, it seems like something you're really, really into, very passionate.
Yeah, like from the jump, my stepfather was an artist as well. You know what I mean? So he did songs with he did songs with Mary J. Blige, Big Pun. He did like a lot of writing and stuff like that. And to be honest, like just like any boy, you just want you want the attention of your father figure. So I used to go with him to like studio sessions or ride around with him, listening to music and stuff like that. And I kind of just was like, yo, let me try this. Let me see exactly what I could do. And he would gas it up like I was good. You know what I'm saying? So it was just something that was kind of like our thing. Um, and as I got older, I kind of just took it on my own. Like I linked up with really dope producers at a fairly early. Got in a really great studio where they kind of like gave me like a lot of fundamentals or like rhyming patterns or how you like format how you're writing and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like really what kicked it off for me. It's like being around like a lot of talented people and then just making it my own. So
Right.
yeah.
That's so cool. And you know what's crazy? When I was watching your music videos, I was like, I've never seen creative direction like this before. It's
That's dope.
definitely different. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I
Thank
loved
you.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so what was that
Appreciate it.
about? Like, you split, things were split, different colors, everything.
What's crazy? Like, so for a few things, I'm not gonna like a lot of my music videos. Like, I would be the director for it. Like, people don't know. Like, my brother was shooting my music videos. Like, my little brother.
Wow.
My little brother is an artist now too. He's lit. Like, he's super fire right now. But he started out like as a videographer for me. So he just knew how to shoot and edit, but he didn't really have like a direction. But as far as like certain videos, like I realized that um that's an art for the director. Like I would come up kind of like what I wanted to feel like, and then I would just I try to let people do their own thing, like come up with something or whatever the case might be. So if you're talking about you're probably talking about Dizzy.
Definitely dizzy
I,
with the four
I
boxes.
yeah, right. I felt like just something that was trippy but not too crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of colors, like even just like the idea of like four different ladies and just putting them in different kind of like situations or whatever the case might be, almost reminded me in ways like the Lil C's and Kim video. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like just like how they had
Yes.
like the different colors, but not like so spot on, but just definitely like things like that inspired me as well. So just kind of like putting together like all of our imaginations or what's on our mind to make something happen.
Yeah, I gotta ask you about the end too with the audition. It looked like you had them auditioning. I was like, yo, that's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. Like I'm big on that too. Like I think that like work should have like some kind of sense of humor. It should make you feel something. It shouldn't just be you just watching just to watch it. But at least for that one, like, she was winning a beauty pageant. So I thought it would be like super funny to like have somebody from the hood win like a beauty pageant, and the things that they would say, you know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
to kind of like spice it up just a little bit.
That was funny. I like that a lot. And
Yeah,
I like the fact that you mentioned a little bit about like Lil C's and stuff like that because
yeah.
with you, I get like a modern feel, but with a 90s combination, like 90s
That's
thrown in there.
I appreciate that. Yeah, like I feel like every artist definitely pulls from the 90s. I think like as far as like just like the style wise, just like how it feels very authentic. It's called the golden era for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if that's what you're saying, if that's what you get, then that means the world to me because that's really where I'm like pulling from. Like I want to be able to be an artist that lasts forever, and there's a lot of artists that were in the 90s that like they could sell out shows now just off of their work. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's important to me.
And even with this side, like I felt the whole Jay-Z vibe. I was like,
Yeah,
that was hitting. I like that, you know?
yeah. You know what's crazy? Like even for that process of making that song, it was just something that's different for me. Um, like just like the it's hard for me to put it in words right now, but like just the process of it. Like I know that the first thing that people think of is like the J joint, but like I don't know. Like I like the like I just like the spin on it. I like how Harmony like definitely like changed up the style for it. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels kind of modern, and at the same time, it still feels like something from that time as well. You know?
Right. Who were you listening to back then for the most part, if there's like three artists that really stood out to you?
Definitely Jay. I would say Ghostface too. Like I'm a big Ghostface fan. I like Wu Tang, but I really like Ghostface. I think he was funny. I think that he was super witty and funny. And I probably say it would probably be a toss up between Ja Rule and DMX. I know people gonna go crazy, but I like Ja Rule. I like this. I like a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, he made hits. Like I actually
Yeah,
get that, and it lived forever.
yeah, that's a fact. And then even now, like I know he's kind of like going through it. He's like every 5 seconds, it seems like it's something crazy going on. But as a whole, like the body of work is like phenomenal.
I agree, definitely. One thing that I gotta say, congratulations, right? That really
I
stood out.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. Like your music videos on BET and Revolt
Yeah.
TV. Like, what was that experience like for you?
Um. To be honest, like all of that is super dope. Like that's like I mean, like even like watching like music videos on TV as a kid, um, like you always want yours to be up there. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I remember watching like a lot of videos as a kid, or like coming home from school and just trying to catch like whatever hot videos. So to be a part of that was like super important to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like but with BT, like they definitely like extended their hand on like a lot of occasions. Like I've opened up for a lot of big artists just because of BT. You
Wow,
know what I
that's
mean? So that's
nice.
a blessing, like nothing less than a blessing. Like super dope, like just being able to be a part of like or them tapping into what I got going on.
Right. Who are some of the artists that you've opened up for?
Rick Ross, Kendrick, Cameron. Um, I opened up for especially with what's up, boy? Give me 2 seconds. um Definitely damn, it's slipping my mind now. Beanie Siegel, that was a big deal for me. I'm a big Beanie Siegel fan too, so that
For
was
real?
dope. But yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. So, but yeah, BT has always have like looked out for me. I did shows with like Bridget Kelly, um, and I think she's phenomenal too. Like you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Vocals
Yeah.
fire.
So, yep, yep.
Well, speaking of like other artists out there, such as Bridget Kelly, Benny Siegel, if
Yeah.
you can have three famous artists you can collab with throughout your entire career, who would they be and why?
Jay-Z, because he's obviously like the biggest inspiration I feel like to all artists. Um, the next one would have to be uh, it's only three.
Only three.
I would say Pharrell. I'm a big Pharrell fan. I feel like he'd give me a beat too. You know what I'm saying? And do the
Yeah,
chorus, so I can just do the easy part and rap. You know what I mean?
that's smart.
Um, and I mean definitely like he's another one that's like super legend. And I think most importantly, something about Pharrell is that you can learn from him. I feel like while he's in sessions with you, he actually teaches you things. At least from hearing other people's stories, like it seems like there's something that he actually just teaches you. And then probably like the last one, it's probably gonna be Sade, something smooth.
Wow, I was not
Yeah,
expecting that.
yeah. My mom's love Sade. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so as a result, I gotta do something to make her like, like
Proud.
super duper proud. Yeah, let's do that. So but yeah, Sade, I feel like she's another like legendary like artist. It's a few legendary artists, but like I feel like Sade is just like signed and sealed. Like she super phenomenal, something that could last forever.
Yeah, that's a fact. She's
Yeah.
definitely legendary status.
Yeah. And
Uh,
I like the vibe. Like she had chill vibe. Like, like a good glass of wine, roast something nice. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
she one of those.
peaceful, very peaceful.
Word. Yeah. That's important.
Yeah, and you know what? I really want to find out, right? Because you reaching over 1 million views on Spotify last year is
Yeah.
huge, like very
Yeah.
hard to do.
Absolutely.
What are 3 characteristics you think prepared you for that type of success so far?
To be honest, it was work ethic. That's definitely one of them. And consistency. I don't know if you put those things together. And then networking, like just making sure that you're around the right people. Um, that's a big deal. Like half the business is definitely that. Like just making sure like you're around like the right people and have the right eyes on it. Because without like a team or a community, like nothing flies. Like not one person could just like do have any amount of success without the help of others. So that's very important.
I'm really glad you said that because I think a lot of artists say, "Oh, I did this on my own. It was only me," and I'm always like, "That's impossible."
I mean, it's a cool story. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, to a certain extent, like we are alone when like maybe like the creativity part of it. But that's not the part, unfortunately, like that's not the part that's getting you where you gotta go though. Like not to be like that, but like the most talented person isn't getting offered great amount of deals like off the rip. You know what I mean? Like it's everything else that goes into it. Like every artist that you are like a fan of, it's the team that goes behind it. It's who did they speak to okay this, and did this person believe in this? Like, like unfortunately, like the last thing that you hear about in situations is, yo, the music was phenomenal. Like that's probably like the last thing that you'll hear. Like, yo, the music was good too. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
So,
so
but
true.
yeah, like so definitely for me it was just like being in the same room with people that could help you change, your perspective or change like other people's perspective on you. And just staying as consistent, like and trying not to like when it comes to like business with anything, like trying not to get discouraged. Like that's the most important. So that's it.
I love that, and I think one of the things too is that you're really different. Like you go outside of the box. And speaking of that, like 2 track project. Why
Yeah.
drop a project with only 2 tracks?
What's crazy? I'm a Gemini first and foremost, and I felt like it would be dope to like just show both sides. One being more of aggressive, and then one actually being like real chill. Um, and I know that people's attention spans aren't as grand as it once was. So I didn't want to do something that was like, a lot of tracks and maybe 2 or 3 get a lot of love off of it, and then I got like some that might be dwindling, and they could still be as good or even better. But you feel what I'm saying? Like I feel like
Yeah.
if you just give them in doses nowadays, like it's a better response. And if I'm keeping it a buck with you, everything is like an experiment too. Like,
Yeah.
like this is my first time, like, working like this or like putting things together. So to be real, a 2 track project was really to see like what's my turnaround looking like how are people going to receive that, so I
That's
could
dope.
prepare for, bigger projects or, I can know when to release. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't take in consideration of all like the stats that we have, like whether it be Instagram or if you are signed into like your Spotify account or your Apple account. And I know people show like their views, but I'm not sure if people are looking at, yo, what state is it coming from? What country is listening to you the most? What's the age bracket? Are they male or female? Like I'm not sure how many people are. Let me not say people, because like the people that's signing people are looking into that, but I'm not sure how many artists are doing that. Like I think that's
Right.
important. Like if we running a business here, I need to know like if everybody likes red, why am I creating yellow stuff? Like you feel what I'm saying? So the same
Yeah.
thing is for your music. It's like, yo, if everybody wants to hear this kind of music from me or wants this kind of style of work from me, why why would I do this part? Like, why would I create? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, logic.
So I'm kind of, yeah, like I'm kind of like looking at it that way. So I'll put out many things or like a single here and there, not off of feel, but more so like, yo, let me put this out so that I could know what my next one is gonna look like.
That's dope. I really like that. And the fact that you did mention the fact that it is an experiment. I think it's good that you're
Yeah,
going outside of the box instead of doing what everybody else is doing. So that's
I
fire.
I, I wouldn't say, like, cause like to be real, I don't even know if everybody's doing the same thing. Like I feel like in some points, like we might all be doing like out of the box things. It's just we just trying to see what's the most successful, what's going to work for, you know, and what works for me wouldn't work for another artist. You see what I'm saying?
That's true too. Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody's totally different. And
100%.
do you have a certain place that you feel like you go for creativity? Like some people are more creative in the studio, some people their ideas for their music just come up randomly. What is the
Yeah,
process like?
mine's is like the worst time in the worst places. Like, I mean, we're in quarantine now, but like a lot of mines will come from me being on the train or like, cause I don't have service on my phone if you underground. So I'll be able to create there, you know, like I can't do them in Ubers because I'm on my phone or like I'm talking to somebody or, you know what I mean? Like I'm headed to do something, but like, or in the showers where I would write, like, you know, or come up with something. Some of the stuff comes from talking to other people about their outlook on life too. Like a lot of my dopest or like my deep like content comes from speaking to friends that might be going through the most. And it might not be me telling their story like flat out or like saying like, yo, what's going on with them, but something that they said that stuck with me in like a wild way that made me say like triggered me to finish off a verse. You know what I
Totally.
mean? Yeah, like something that was deep that had nothing to do with like like the topic, but like the word, like something triggered me to be like, okay, let me say this because that meant something to me.
Right, absolutely.
I don't know if everybody's writing like that because I can't even say like I really write. Like I can't say like my like a lot of my stuff is like off of feeling. Like how do I feel? How does this does this beat match my feeling? And then how does like how is it coming across that way? How do I say the word? I don't know. Like I don't know if you want to hear all that, but
Oh no,
all of
it's
that plays
good.
a part. All of that plays a part in, you know, creating. When I go to a studio, I might only have 8 bars because I want the rest to be off of emotion and feeling.
So
You see
like
what I'm saying?
punching in like sometimes.
I wouldn't even say punching in. I'm just saying like if I give you half a story, I could fill the rest in.
Okay.
So what I would do is if I got a beat, I might just have only 8 bars in the hook. But because I have a direction, I know what to say and what to do for the rest of the record. And then it's better for me because, you know, it's just off of something that's like directly from my conscience and from my heart. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does because it explains the passion too. I feel like because I hear it when
Right,
you're doing it, and I'm like, okay, so he really loves this. Like you could tell you're not just doing it just to do it.
right. I mean, we've all had those. Like, you know, some things aren't always like that, but like my most like dominant records or like the ones that people rock with the most have definitely been like somewhat of a freestyle, like a good idea, but definitely a freestyle. Like in the idea of like, okay, let me put this together. I hear this. Let me do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Word. Somebody said nothing happens without love. That's the truth.
exactly. Shout
That's the
out
truth.
to BSG.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah, and one of the things that I always like to ask people is, do you have a favorite record, like a record that you feel like you poured out so much into it?
Um, there's a record on. I have on my war paint project. There's a song called "Sleep When I'm Dead," and I felt like that's one of my favorite records as far as talking about what I was going through at the time. And that's probably like one of my prime examples of exactly what I was talking about.
Right.
Like it was just, you know, like me working a job, like the stress that comes in with that, like the pressures of my mom had me at a young age, so a lot of times we grew up together. You know what I'm saying? So talking about what that means, like, you know, like her finding love and her trying to find peace within herself and things, and me still being a kid and trying to figure out, like all of that playing a part. That's on that record. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Not that's only like a part of it, but like just like my life as a whole, and in that period of time.
That's so dope that you were able to actually put that on a track, because I always feel like with music, so many people can relate.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be for. Like in ways, people changed it into something else. Like it's like they trying to music has also turned into, let's do something to you know obviously get some money out of it. And I get that, like you can't just do this to like you ain't trying to be broke. I get that.
Right.
But I feel like with sometimes like with some artists, you know the genuine part is missing. Like
That's true.
I'm not saying I feel like sometimes artists might talk on a topic that they're going through or speak on something just because they feel like that's going to also be something that's going to get them paid. Is that like, does that make sense?
Yeah, a lot of people I feel like do that, and some things may not always be real. They might be doing what's
Yeah.
trending and
You
stuff
feel
like
what I'm
that.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
so I mean, no knock to those artists. I mean, do what you got to do, but it's just like when you see certain posts and you just like, I know that this ain't real. Like I've you ever seen have you ever seen somebody like, I don't know, maybe I won't say that, but like sometimes just things aren't genuine. I say that. You
Nah,
know what
I
I mean?
I get that.
This word. Like sometimes it just ain't genuine and you can tell, and it takes out it takes away from the artists that are genuine, or it takes away from artists that are talking from the heart.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool because, like you said, sometimes you do have to go through things, or real life experiences give you the best,
Yeah,
for creativity and to move forward.
yeah, that's a fact. 100%.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people had writer's block during quarantine.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like, I don't know, like my process on creating consists of a studio too. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I can create and then just like run to the studio and like it's I'm not gonna say like it's been the easiest thing. I have to force myself sometimes to write something.
Got you.
But what helps me get through that, which was great advice from somebody I forgot who told me, but it was somebody that was like, I don't want to say a fan, but somebody that really likes my music. Like, you know what I'm saying? They told me to listen to myself.
That's
Like, it was
dope.
like, yo, if you ever get into a space where you feel like you stuck, like play your own records. I was like, damn, and it was absolutely true. Like, it was like right, like it's like, yeah, nobody really like is doing it this type of way. So they was like, yo, listen to your own stuff, like and then you'll build up creativity from there. Makes all the sense in the world.
That's great advice. Shout out to
Right,
yeah, shout out to your
right,
people.
yeah, right. I got at least a good couple of people around me.
Yeah, I never heard that
Word.
before.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I
Uh,
thought so.
do you have a general feeling you want your listeners to feel when they hear your music?
Um, a general feeling with my music as a whole. The feeling that I want all my listeners to have is to keep going, like to keep hustling, to keep busting their ass, to keep grinding, and whatever that means to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm somebody that I'm always gonna find a way. Like if it ain't this way, it's another way. So I hope that through my work, like that's what they see. Even if they don't like so much the music, if they just my fault.
Oh, it's okay.
If they I just want it to be where people are like, yo, like see me as an inspiration and be like, yo, I'm gonna just keep getting it. Ain't no stopping. That's really what it is. Like I'm not really somebody that's in the gym, but apparently my music makes people want to work out. That's love. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, I ain't really wilding outside, but the fact that somebody might hit me and be like, I'm grinding, I'm figuring out, I'm trying to provide for me and mines, and they so happen to like play my records to get them in that type of mood or that in that type of setting. That's that's phenomenal. That's what I'm doing it for. Like I just want to make it where it's like, yo, if I'm the theme music like to people's like life on some like grinding, I'm doing my job.
That's so dope.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
love that.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Because there's so many reasons to quit. There's so many reasons to like stop. Like if you said right now, like yo, I give up, like you can't even blame nobody right now. Like it's so many reasons to like yo fold. So like the idea is like yo, let's not. Like, yo, let's. How about we don't? Like, let's try this. Like, the greatest thing we can do is like not quit. You know?
I like that. Let's try this.
Yeah.
Another saying that I see everywhere on your
Yeah.
brand, learn
Yep.
something.
Yeah. That's a fact.
So,
That's a fact.
yeah, how did that come about?
I mean, it just hand in hand with homeschool. I mean, I talk a lot. Like, I'm trying to like not right now, but like I chat a lot. Like, as far as
I want
I'm
that.
around like a yeah, like I'm around like a lot of like knuckleheads, and I love them to death. You know what I'm saying? But as a result, it kind of went into like me like barking on somebody. Like, I'm just like, yo, you gotta figure something out. Like learn something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't like just be in the hole. Like, just don't like freeze up. Like, you better come up with something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you better like figure something out. Watch it from somebody else. Like, nothing that we doing right now is new. Nothing at all. You ain't got to reinvent the wheel. You know what I'm saying? Just figure it out for yourself. So learn something is like, it's a part of it is like, learn something new every day. Learn something. Pick up on something. Catch some kind of vibe every single day. And you can't go wrong with that. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
dope.
And then once you do learn something, try to teach somebody else. Try to give them some kind of insight and help them out. So at least that's the plan.
That's fire. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I'm
uh,
glad I asked that.
yeah,
Okay, so yeah, what is next for you? Or I mean, 2020 is like shaky, but
yeah. That's a fact. So I mean, hopefully within I'm probably pushing by June or something like that. But I'm dropping a 4-track project called Long Story Short. The
nice.
entire project is produced by Harmony Samuels. 2 tracks is already out. Hey, how are you? 2 tracks is already out right now with This Side and Dizzy. So I'm super excited just because, I was able to get like a lot of love for these first 2 tracks. And I feel like with the next, records that's coming along with it, it's gonna be full circle. I feel like I'm gonna have a way to like touch every bit of like the audience that I have, and that's important to me. So it's still, like I said, real short project. The process to create it was a lot. Like, I moved out to LA sometime last year, to like really like grind and figured out this whole thing. I learned a lot, one about myself, a lot about the business. That some of it was discouraging, but as a whole, it put me in a place to be like, okay, like if this is the field that you're gonna be in, like, be very optimistic and also stay on your ground. Like, whatever you believe in, stand on that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like as far as like, what's next? Definitely just staying creative. With this project that's coming out, I'm definitely gonna put out another digital coloring book with Levan. That's gonna be jumping soon.
Nice.
Definitely still gonna have the merch jumping too. So everybody that's been hitting me like, yo, I need a homeschool hat or a hoodie, I promise you, especially now, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So, but we're gonna keep doubling up. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if I dropped like 2 projects before the year is out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just keep working. That's really what it is. It ain't. I mean, I'm sitting on a lot of music, so it's not like I gotta be, like in the studio to create something. I'm gonna just release. I'm gonna just stay as consistent as I possibly can.
That's
Videos
dope.
might be difficult, but we gonna figure that part out too.
Yeah, I mean, I like your videos though. For some reason, watching it, I'm like, I feel like he could finesse this. He got enough creative
Yeah,
people
yeah,
behind
that's a
him.
fact. 100%. Like, I'm gonna figure something out.
Word, I know that's
Word up.
right. Uh,
Yeah, I'm gonna figure something out.
I saw VSG had asked, "Do you think that will help with streaming?" I am curious to know your answer to that because
What?
I think he means specifically with the four dropping four. I actually
Yeah,
like
definitely.
four because it's doubling up what you already did.
Of
That's
course.
fire. I'm like, I like that
Yeah,
idea.
yeah. Well, like, to be real with you, like, yeah, like streaming plays a large part. Like, it's not like we doing physical copies anymore.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I treat these records like a small amount of them with as much attention as you would for a 16-track project, then the outcome should be more. Like, if I'm concentrating just on what I'm giving you, like, I know projects this year that came out that the project probably was amazing, but we don't listen to all the songs and they're just there. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, that's really what it boils down to. So if I can make people zero in, what's up, brother? How you feeling, man? if I could just zero in and make people just like, yo, deliberately just go to one specific, like, or two, or in this case, 4 records, then we good, you know? So, but that's really what it is. I'm playing a game. Word up. It's definitely for the streaming. Like, it's definitely for that.
That's dope. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see it. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I know we got homeschool.org, but where can people find your music? Like every platform.
Yeah, so I'm on every single thing. If you type in Cas, KAS, all capitals, you definitely gonna see, like a lot, like some real dope work for me, So we gonna figure that out.
Yes, yes, I love that, and I can't wait
Word.
to see all the music videos that drop, and everything
Yeah,
that's coming next. I'll be staying
I
tuned.
appreciate you. Word, thank you. Word up.
Yes, no problem. And I appreciate you. And I look forward to also your marketing is like really, really good. I saw Dizzy was all through your IG, and I'm like, see, that
Yeah,
consistency is fire.
what's crazy? That's another part. Like, I'm learning from other people. Like, I got like a little digital team. Like, I'm not sure if you heard of Dinnerland, but they do like a lot of like digital marketing, and I have like one-on-ones with them where I'm just talking like, I know you're trying to get off the joint, so
Oh
I
no,
got you.
no, it's fine. No,
But
actually, the
yeah,
more
like,
is the better.
word, but like that's a part of it. Like, figuring out conversion points. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what I'm on. Like, the deal in the long run is to like eventually be able to run my own label. So I'm really just learning all of this stuff and getting as much success and figuring out like getting all the bumps and bruises now, so I can know exactly what I'm looking for once like I'm running my own label. You know?
Wow, I can totally see you doing that because you already mentioned, videographers, graphic designers.
Yeah,
So you're already
yeah,
like leading in a way and putting people together. So a record label should be like that.
easy, super super easy.
Yeah.
Word up.
I love that. Okay,
Word.
definitely. Thank you so much for your time. And
And I
is there
appreciate you.
anything, you're welcome. Is there anything you want to tell anybody on live? I always like to ask if there's anything extra.
I mean, just stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? Definitely tap into homeschool.org. Watch the videos that's there. I'm starting up. I mean, this Corona joint kind of slowed up everything for everybody, but I'm finishing off a web series that I kind of got shot like a music video. Because I felt like people was doing web series and they was like bad, like really bad, like shot bad, like really really shot bad.
Yeah.
So I figured, like, let's make it creative and do something on that line. What happens when a good guy is put in like a bad situation, or what happens when your back's against the wall? And figuring out something that's called Gemini for people to check that out. That's on the site as well. Definitely could be able to, I'm sold out of the homeschool hoods right now, but we're going to double up soon. I'm going to make sure I got long sleeves shirts, definitely some t-shirts, so everybody could be fly in the crib. So definitely, like, tune in to me. I got so much actually happening, so I'm going to have something for somebody.
Yeah,
Word.
no, that'll be dope. So really quick, are you into like actual acting and stuff like that?
I'm trying to see. Like, I ain't gonna say no. I'm trying to see. I don't know if I like it, and I don't know if I don't. So we'll figure that part out. But I'm gonna try it though.
Yeah,
I don't.
that would be
My
dope.
grandma say I don't even know how to act. I don't even know how to act a fool. So we gonna see. You heard?
There's roles for that though. Yes,
Yeah,
they cast for
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's the truth. So she know me the best. So we gonna figure it out.
Exactly. And
Word.
there was one last question. I see
Okay.
VSG asks, what are some words of advice that you would give to other up and coming artists? And, with being that you got so many streams already, over 1 million, BET, Revolt, a lot of people could use that advice.
I would say, know exactly what you want. Like like don't tell somebody that you just hungry. Like, what does that mean? What do you want to eat? You know what I'm saying? And be very specific, because if somebody comes back with a meal that you don't really like, it's not going to be good. So the same thing goes into like, yo, being an artist. Know exactly what you want. Like, yo, I want a tour. Yo, I want a deal. I want this type of deal. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, I set a goal out to be like, I want to get 1 million streams, and that's how I went and got it. So be very precise on what you're asking for. Like, and I think that that's the biggest thing for me, because for the longest, all I kept saying was that I was hungry, but I didn't say what I wanted or how could I get that. As soon as you know what you want, then you'll figure out how to get to it. And then never, and the next advice is, don't always try not to be the smartest person in your room. Like, make sure that you're around people that can actually teach you something or that you can learn from. Like, that's very important. Like, make sure that you're not the smartest, but obviously don't make sure you're not the dumbest, because you also got to teach somebody that's, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't know as much as you. But that's always the deal. If you're the smartest person in your circle, then that's a problem. You're not picking up nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's really big for me.
Wow, that's valid. That was really dope. That was great advice.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm like, that
I
was
would want
good.
somebody to tell me that. Yeah, you know what I mean. So, but shit, that's kind of what I picked up along the way.
Oh, that's fire. Okay, yo, that's lit. All right, thank you
Yeah,
so much for that.
yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for tapping in for real.
Yes, anytime, definitely.
Yeah,
All right, stay safe.
you too. Make sure you stay safe. Word
Thank
up.
you. Yeah, I'm not going outside.
All right. I
All
got you.
right, bye.
All right.
Shorty throw around, got me dizzy, dizzy, dizzy. Shorty throw around, got me dizzy, dizzy. We get busy. Shorty throw around, got me dizzy.
Tatiana got me dizzy, yeah, I'm super dizzy. Megan got me dizzy, yeah, I'm super dizzy. Foxy got me dizzy, yeah, I'm hella